The land of Velen is positioned in western Temeria, with its capital in Gors Velen, it being one of the poorest provinces in the entire kingdom. It is also comprised with the Isle of Thanid, home to the renowned Magic Academy, which, along with Gors Velen, constitutes the commercial and growing mainspring of the entire province. Velen is a stop on the well-travelled Novigrad trade route running through Sidres, Vergen, Brugg, Sintra, and other southbound realms. Veleners subside primarily on agriculture, crafting and animal husbandry. The province is particularly deprived of all natural resources. It contains a great deal of forests, wetlands and cultivated woods, though the largest part of it is covered in swamps and bogs. However, trade routes and a growing economy has come to a halt, as nothing but war now engulfs Velen and the place that people now call No Man's Land. The lifeless landscapes now stink of nothing but death and is soaked in blood. No Man's Land once being the front lines where the soldiers of the Northern Kingdom clashed against the Nilfgaardian Empire, battle upon battle taking place amid the hills and villages. But now old tattered flags flurry amid the rotting dead with ghouls and grave hags rummaging for flesh. After the countless skirmishes, neither side seemed close to achieving victory, leading to a ceasefire and the rise of Philip Strenger, known better as the Bloody Baron. In the past he had been a Temerian commander, and through ruthless means, with the help of what remained of the former Temerian army, he brought about the current peace and sealed his position in leadership. Ruling mainly through fear and in place of no others willing to take up the task, Strenger sends orders and oversees what remains of No Man's Land from the abandoned fort of Crow's Perch. Those under his command being mostly broken men with little respect for the law, stirring trouble and doing as they please to anyone who does not fall under their heel. Although the Bloody Baron manages the land, it is obvious that he only rules because Nilfgaard let him, knowing that the momentary peace will give them time to grow stronger and gain further control as the northern forces starve and fight amongst themselves. And despite the fragile peace in Upper Velen, any unfortunate few left in No Man's Land are sure to be raped, hung and killed, most of the crimes being committed by disbanded Temerian troops, marauders and bandits looking for anything they can loot, sell and plunder. Each of these groups prey upon the weak and make camps in forests and old forts close to roads, being ruthless and hate-driven people with nothing left to lose. Velen being an old land, many people believe in gods, building many shrines throughout the Temerian countryside to Matiel, the goddess of harvest, home and fertility. These rustic statues are carved from wood and show the goddess in all her three forms, virgin, mother and crone. Food and drink are offered and small candles lit to these figures as tribute in hopes for a good harvest. But another ancient religion has snaked its way across Velen, being that of those who worship Matiel the crone, an old hag with saggy skin and a mouth filled with dented teeth. Often sacrifices are made to these figures, those being of animals or men, staining the wood red with their blood. Many small towns worship the crones and I will talk a little bit more about them later on in the video. The Eternal Fire also spreads its belief through the city of Novigrad, but has yet to actually reach Velen or get into No Man's Land, and as the war is there it's unlikely it will do it anytime soon. The land itself can be divided into 7 areas, starting with Crow's Perch, a palisaded keep once owned by Count Vezerard and occupied currently by the Bloody Baron and his men. Being a small community who lived peacefully before the war, those who remain stay behind what protection the walls and the moat have to offer. The only way in and out of the red brick fortress is a small creaky wooden bridge, giving its defenders some small advantage if ever attacked. Midcorps is a farming settlement like many others, with most of the fighting having not reached them. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the famine that now engulfs most of the region. And like many other small villages, it's likely that a lot of people will die just simply because of disease and starvation. Fyke Isle is a small and very interesting place where Vezerad, the former Lord of Velen and previous owner of Crow's Perch, fled to when the Nilfgaardian forces invaded. He and his family hid in the tower of Fyke Island, but later a group of enraged peasants stormed the tower to kill Vezerad and any others with him. The only one to survive was his daughter Annabelle, because she used a magic potion that put her into a corpse-like state of paralysis. But unfortunately upon waking she was unable to move and became a meal for the rats of the tower. Since then Annabelle's ghost has been wandering endlessly through the halls of the tower. Bald Mountain, or Ard Serbin in Elder Speech, is topped by an ancient oak and located in southern Velen. Every year it sees the gathering of the crones at its summit for their Sabbath, headed inside the mountain itself into their den, where they feast on the bodies of those they take. At the foot of the mountain is a small village whose people for the most part are fanatic believers and worship the crones. The Nilfgaardian military encampment is the headquarters of the Nilfgaardian Empire within the Velen region. Pitched in a mere 2 weeks, the army group's central camp constitutes the heart of the Nilfgaardian military architecture, and is from there that all the orders are given out to any soldiers inside of Velen, and where all the military commanders decide what happens to the land around them. Crookback Bog is a large swamp area in southern Velen, residing deep in no man's land. It is home to many beasts of the northern kingdoms, yet strangely enough an orphanage for bereaved and unwanted children lies in the centre of the swamp, as does the home of a friendly godling named Johnny. The famed crones of Crookback Bog are comprised of a triad of secretive beings who are worshipped by the local residents. The village of Downwarren in particular give great credence to the crones, that being the village beneath the Bald Mountain. The inn at the crossroad is a popular meeting place in Velen, seeing many of the Bloody Baron's men coming often to shake the villagers and get their part of their undeserved profit. The reason for the city of Novigrad, which sits just above Velen, not being included is because it is a free city and not a part of Velen or Temeria, and therefore really requires its own video. So I know I was supposed to do Succubi next, but I kind of settled for doing Velen because I haven't actually talked about the land or any of the customs or anything yet, and I thought it'd be pretty interesting to sort of experiment with these videos and see how they go, because there's a lot to learn here and a lot of interesting stuff. And the other reason I didn't do Succubi is because there isn't much on them. I looked at the information and it basically just says that they seduce people, and that's it. That is pretty much the entirety of the lore on them that I can find, so it's a little unfortunate. And I don't know if anyone else is out there and they know a lot about the Witcher lore and they have, you know, extensive knowledge, then please let me know, because I could do with some help in terms of like researching this information. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will probably be doing another monster or creature next. But thank you very much for watching. This has been OkGovBear. You go and have a good day, and Rogue One was awesome. Go watch it. It's a good movie.